Hey, it's EnigmaHood. So there was a United States Senator whose name I can't remember, but he's a Republican fucker from New York. And he tweeted that he would torture the surviving Boston bomber to extract information from him or whatever. And it's been causing quite a bit of an outcry, a lot of controversy, and I highly doubt he's going to get reelected. So that kind of brings up an interesting question about hatred and revenge and things like that. One of the things that always, makes me laugh is how Americans use the word justice as a euphemism for revenge. Time and time again, they say, "We want justice, we want justice." No, you want revenge. Justice doesn't have any relevance to an individual. It never did. The word justice only has relevance to society, because society has interests, that it's trying to stabilize society, and it has to do certain things in order to keep it stable. Many of these factors are part of this broad term justice, but the word justice doesn't have any relevance to an individual. To an individual, they get angry when they are wronged, and they want retribution. They want to make the party that's responsible suffer. By definition, that is what revenge is. Justice is just a euphemism. And this moron is not talking about justice, and he's not talking about extracting information, even though he claims that that's what it is. Now, he's talking about revenge. Now, how do I look at it? Do I think that terrorists or bad people that do bad things, like killing, should be tortured? I say it depends on what they do. If it's a bombing, if it's a shooting, if it's something impersonal like that, I'm more inclined to say no, because of a psychological thing. It's impersonal. Yes, I understand that the bomb blew off people's limbs. I understand that it dismembered people. I understand that. I understand that it caused grievous harm and suffering. But there's a psychological aspect. They weren't right up in their face. They weren't one-on-one causing damage and suffering to them personally. This does happen in rape, and when you are literally torturing someone one-on-one, like if you have like a saw or some cords and you're like torturing someone using these cords and unusual instruments. There's a psychological aspect to it. When you're raping someone and you're beating them, and then you eviscerate them like they did in India. It's a one-on-one psychological thing. These people, I do believe, should be tortured to death. I believe that rapists deserve to be tortured. I believe torturers deserve to be tortured. I don't believe all murderers necessarily should be tortured, or for that matter, killed. I can understand when certain murders happen, and I wouldn't advocate the death penalty in those cases. Namely, if a man's daughter is brutally raped by some scumbag and he goes and he kills the scumbag, I would not want him to die. And just my personal thing, I wouldn't even want him to be punished, but that's a separate issue. The government doesn't care about what a person actually deserves. It cares about stabilizing society, keeping people in line, that sort of thing. So it's trying to satisfy people's vengeance in a way that is organized as possible. As for the terrorist attack itself, I'm more indifferent to terrorist attacks against America, simply because the target isn't an individual. The target is the entity America itself, and that's the case in this attack as well. We weren't entirely sure what the motive was, but now it does seem more likely that this was indeed an attack against America, and I can't feel bad for America, because I know what America has done. America has committed genocide against the Native Americans. America has instituted slavery and has whipped and beaten slaves from Africa and treated them as subhumans. America has gone to other countries like Vietnam and Korea and have killed and raped people and tortured them. Because of all the bad things America has done, you can't then come to me and say to me, "Don't you feel bad when America is attacked?" No, I don't. I don't feel bad, because I know what America has done. And I'm separating the entity of America from the people of America. So don't try and strawman me and say the people had nothing to do with that. That doesn't matter. I'm not talking about the people. Those people were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and it sucks. And if I were there, I would have been killed. But I would still know that it was nothing personal. It was an attack against the entity America. The entity America. Just like when we talk about North Korea and how they want to start nuclear war. We're not talking about the people of North Korea. We're talking about the entity North Korea. And that's just how I feel. You may not like that. You may still hate them. And if you still hate these terrorists, I'm not going to blame you for that. That you're still entitled to your opinion. But I do not. That's just how I feel. This is EnigmaHood signing off.